really important. But yeah, it looks like we have like 2 standard comps from both these teams. And again, going to this mid fight, we should really look for swaps on overextenders. And we'll see what skill ratio decides to do in this opening team fight.
Yeah, SR is really known for those quick swaps. If you take one step too far, SR sees it and they swap to you quick. It looks like the Warrior of GSC A team is taking some damage along with the BM. A quick swap on the BM right now, bouncing back and forth. He does get topped off, though. He'll be fine for now. Look for another swap in a couple seconds here, maybe at the end of a rend.
And look at Knickknack actually got lessened. He is swapping over onto Gobnobber. Gobnobber is a bit overextended on the side. He uses Gobnobber to get away. He's at 100% or he's at 100 HP. He gets topped off right there. Quick swap on this Warrior, and a Boomkin actually. My bad. The Boomkin goes down. Again, a lot of these GSC players like to play with these glass cannon sets. So if they overextend in a glass cannon set, you definitely look to get swapped to. And definitely good job by skill ratio capitalizing on like the overextensions of both Gobnobber and I guess Eclipses at the end of that team fight, or at the end of that exchange. So really good job. And we do have some damage going on to the Warrior of GSC in Dingo, and its skill ratio seems to be pretty comfortable right now in this team fight. No one taking too much damage. No one under too much pressure. But as I say that, Sergeant Pete's actually taking a bit of damage. He's forced to get out of there, kiting back towards his healers.
Yeah, both FCs did cross safely. Grizzle got a scope proc onto the FC, but he was fine to make it to his team. Snack's under a little bit of pressure here. I mean, right here's kind of just a stalemate, right? Both FCs are across safely. They need to look for a kill and then push towards that FC. And it does look like Snack is actually going to go down. The BM of GSC taking tons of damage.
The skill ratio is playing much more aggressive than I'm used to seeing. They're just getting these kills left and right, it seems like, in mid. And, not many kills have actually happened, but these are 2 really good teams, so we can expect that there won't be that many kills overall throughout this entire game. But yeah, skill ratio seemed to be doing an excellent job now taking down the Hunter, Zale of GSC, and putting some pressure now into Daniela. Daniela is getting he does go down. And so now skill ratio can convert this into, a very comfortable position where they'll have GSC just sitting in their graveyard staring at the ceiling.
Yeah, Ezron denying that Hunter from getting up tunnel was actually really, really good. They only have 1 Hunter on defense now to protect Marb, and that's a disadvantage. Coming from starter, we are apparently the best graveyard turtlers in the bracket, and we love having that double Hunter on D, so looks like they are sending everybody up ramp. This is a common strategy that we've seen in this year's Twin Cup. We'll see what GSC A team can do here.
Yeah, now it's really important that skill ratio gets a good angle on GSC. In specific, let's see if they can get a good angle on this FC. It does look like they are able to kind of trap this FC. I don't know if maybe GSC should have taken this a bit more to the skill ratio side. Now, if skill ratio wins this team fight, they're going to be in an excellent position to return this flag, as Pearl Haraga, the FC for GSC, is just now standing behind his team. And if his team starts dying, he's definitely probably going to have to pass that up, because this is going to be an easy cap for skill ratio if they're able to convert this into something. Knickknack is really deep into GSC's team, actually getting rooted behind the FC, and Knickknack needs to just get out of there. If he gets swapped to, if GSC opens their eyeballs and sees a Knickknack right here, that they definitely
FC's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, and actually, I think Nick was setting up a Rentek. FC is dropping to 50% HP. It looks like he's going to get topped off. The six stack has hit, so that FC is going to be taking a ton of damage. He's not going to have any mobility.
And Knickknack does go down there. His overextension finally did get punished. He was looking for a kill in the AFC, maybe got a little bit too trigger happy, and did end up going down. So skill ratio is going to have to back off here, play it safe, and it looks like they're going to actually snowball this. I don't know. Let's see if skill ratio can keep themselves up here. Blurs does go down, so they are going to wipe, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. I mean, they were in a very good map position at that point. Having control over GSC, forcing them to be playing right next to their graveyard. They seem to have a stronger team fight, and the Knickknack, for no apparent reason, just overextending, getting rooted, getting controlled behind there. I mean, I like the aggressive push on the FC, but I think it was just way too early. You know, it's very difficult to kill an FC in this current meta, and you really need to wait till a bit more stacks. I mean, you occasionally can kill an FC before stacks, but when he's next to his team, it's very difficult to do so, even at 6 stacks. So I think that was just a bit too early for skill ratio. I like the idea, I like the aggression, but again, just it needs to be done. I mean, it needs to be a bit cleaner.
Yeah, and kind of a weird position here. Everyone is so clumped near tunnel. Everyone is literally stacked. The BMs are going to be putting in so much damage here with their keg smashes. Repulse is taking a lot of damage. He's dipping between 20%. Gets back top up. Knickknack is actually taking a lot of damage, but they will top him back up. So they're trying to reposition themselves here. They're trying to spread apart, not take as much damage, and reform this mid fight again.
And look at Living Force. Living Force is so far away from his team right now. If skill ratio recognizes this, he's just like in the middle of nowhere, and it does look like Grizzle is targeting him. I think they should swap onto him. The Knickknack and the both melee are right there. Knickknack deciding to put some dots onto Living Force. Danielle actually going down. I think they need to just kill Living Force. Gobnobber and Living Force are stacked right next to each other. You know, a few keg smashes, and that can convert into some serious damage onto GSC. But as I said,
Daniela, Daniela did go down, and then a couple seconds later, they got a cross kill on Blurs. And then skill ratio got another cross kill on Ashler, the Hunter, and then Zale, the Hunter, is going down. Unplayable might go down. Maniac went down. Cross kills across the board. This is a very interesting team fight.
Yeah, and finally, skill ratio deciding to swap onto China. That's Living Force. It took them so long to do that. Living Force is out of position like for so long. Just that lone male goblin priest with 2.4k HP. I'm really surprised. I'm kind of actually disappointed that skill ratio didn't get that free kill. Living Force just had a sign above his head that said, "Hey, kill me, please, mate." And that's exactly what happened at the end, but it took them a long time to recognize that. It does look like the FC for GSC is just doing some goofy flag tricks, but right now he's going to be in some trouble probably soon, as he's just trying to displace it to his healer, taking a ton of damage. He is actually going to go down. Flag gets returned by Maniac.
That was a really interesting position by that FC. We do have a replay. Let's check it out. So I think he's sitting top of tunnel, right? And Grizzle actually goes up to contest him, being the crazy good, annoying Hunter Grizzle is, always trying to put pressure on the FC, and it does force him into a weird position. They do end up killing him. So that should be a cap, and it is a cap. So yeah. Let's see if skill ratio is winning the mid fight too. They could turn this into a quick cap very easily.
Yeah, this is the skill ratio that I was hoping to see. The skill ratio that's just absolutely being dominant multiple times in mid. I think they've kind of regained some of their composure. Yesterday some of the games were a bit shaky for them. Even this game's a bit shaky, but I think they do seem to be playing a bit better as far as mid is concerned. I would like to see again more pressure getting put onto China, the Goblin Priest. Because he at the end was a free kill for such a long time, and it took them so long to recognize that. Really, right now, I think skill ratio is in an excellent position, as China is dead. Same with Yindingo. They have a front line down and a healer down, so skill ratio is definitely controlling this game. GSC for the meantime is just sitting in their GY. They are going to drop down, waiting for those two to res, and now we're going to push out. Now we're going to have another team fight.
So Dark Chewy's just coming out of the enemy tunnel. Maybe both Hunters and Dark Chewy will both go back and try to down this FC to get this quick cap. The FC of GSC A team is on roof right now, so he will be okay for a little bit. If SR can hold this containment, they could send their Hunters back for the kill, but it looks like they're playing the long game. They're going to play it a little bit safer, and Knickknack does end up going down. So I'm not sure. Maybe they should have sent their Hunters back to get that kill. Oh, and never mind. As I say that, a cross kill on the enemy warrior. So even mid-fight right now.
Yeah, and what I was going to say, I think Steelers should just play this safe. I think there's no reason to engage the FC, no reason to pull out of this mid-fight quite yet. Once that 6-stack has hit, that's a really good time for the Hunters to break off. But until then, I think it's just smart for skill ratio to kind of just try to wear down the enemy team and have some control in mid. Yeah, Zale taking a ton of damage. They're doing a lot of swaps on the Hunters, which is something I've never really understood, never really agreed with too much. Hunters' damage isn't something I think you should worry about. They are difficult to heal because they do take so much damage. But at the same time, I think there's much juicier targets like those healers. And Asher actually taking a ton of damage again. Yeah, these Hunters on GSC just always getting swapped to by skill ratio.
It could be when the hunters disengage in for racials, they just target them to push him back. I'm not sure if that's exactly what's happening, but I do agree that hunters aren't the priority kill target in the mid fight. But Repulse getting charged on, getting to take a lot of damage. Knickknack going low too. Repulse is sitting at 50%. Skill ratio is actually starting to rot here. The pressure's going out crazy, but GSC A team is also rotting. Snack Ashler getting switched to. Ashler goes down. The hunter kill that they have been constantly trying to go for finally does. Good job by skill ratio.
Yeah, and China actually taking a bit of damage. Again, that Goblin Priest just has to waddle away right now. I don't think he has his racial available. So China just getting away, topping himself off. Gobnobber getting swapped to a bit, taking some pressure. I think he should be safe right now as he gets behind his healers. Again, Zale is taking some damage in the tunnel in a 1v1 right now against Grizzlefoot. And so Grizzle is going to be pushed back as he does drop a bit low, but he's going to be topped by his healers. Daniela goes down in the team fight. And a swap onto Eclipsis as he's taking a ton of damage, drops actually to 1 HP, gets topped off. Unplayable now getting swapped to. It looks like Skill Ratio is just constantly just switching targets. Like the moment something gets out of range, a new target is called. It's a really good job by them starting this pressure. And Unplayable is actually just going to go down. I don't think his Nature's Guardian was able to save him there. And Skill Ratio doing an excellent job once again, just controlling GSC in this opening mid fight or in this mid game mid fight.
The FC of GSCA team did get across, so good job by him seeing that skill ratio was under some pressure and deciding that he could use that to go up ramp and get across. A hunter did get by skill ratio's team. Grizzle was trying to 1v1 him, but maybe the other hunter got scoped, so he had to back off. But it looks like Grizzle's going to go try to wipe him right here.
Yeah, I think we should be expecting to see anytime soon the skill ratio push, right? Let's see where their whole team is going. It looks like, yeah, their whole team is going up on to GY right now. They're going to force that FC down. Dark G already heading back to cap to expecting that they are going to get that kill. Prelraga messing up his displacer beast a bit. He doesn't have that available. I think he tried to displacer once he hit the ground, so he won't have that for the next 30 seconds. I don't know if anyone on skill ratio recognizes that, but if they do, they should just, I think, tunnel all their damage into Prelraga. Daniela actually taking a ton of damage. If he goes down, definitely they can convert this into an FC kill. I'm sure of it. But yeah, Prelraga doesn't have the displacer piece available. He is getting hit by Grizzle. He's choosing to drop the flag. It does get picked up by Gobnobber. Interesting exchange there. Gobnobber does drop it. It should get picked up by their FC once again. Their FC does pick it up. He is just kind of trying to kite right now, and it was such a weird spot. I don't know. I guess he's trying to avoid some melee damage or something. But once the melee connect, if they're able to connect, he's going to be under so much pressure. Right now, he's just getting tunneled by those hunters. He is getting relieved of some pressure for the meantime. But Grizzlefoot is in a position to swap to Prelraga as skill ratio just continues to wipe GSC.
Yeah, and you see the Boomkin and the Warrior, and now the BM are down, so there's no way that FC is going to live, and it looks like he does drop it. I have to point out, Grizzle there, the whole team of skill ratio did good, but Grizzle was literally controlling and zoning that FC. He was like the puppet master of that FC, controlling every single movement, and you could just see skill ratio's teamwork there. It was really well played by them. They played it patient. They didn't like rush the FC and actually overextend and die. Great job.
Yeah, actually, Grizzle, I remember last expansion, I queued a lot of RPGs, and we used to call that playing goalie on Warsong Gulch. Like, you have someone always zoning the FC on your team, and so Grizzle doing an excellent job in the goalie position for skill ratio, if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, this is a very comfortable position for skill ratio to be in. It's very difficult to get 2 flag caps in 6 minutes. It definitely has to be done with some sort of massive mistake, massive error by skill ratio. If skill ratio is able to play this game out as well as they have been, I definitely think this is going to be an easy victory for them if they can just play consistently for the rest of these 5 minutes.
Yeah, and this is the skill ratio we have seen in the past. They're calm and collected. They don't make many mistakes. Sure, they're not playing too aggressive and never extending, but they don't really make mistakes in these games. And just as I say that, Zale does go down there. They're really searching for those hunter kills. I don't know if they've studied this team in the past or in these past games and be like, hey, their hunters overextend a ton. Might as well get that little advantage by just seeing that opportunity. And they down these priests now. They are just playing so well. The GSC A team needs to stop overextending.
Yeah, I mean, they're making this GSC team look like a bunch of frat boys as they just get these easy kills onto these healers. I mean, Daniela and Living Force, the 2 frat bros, they get taken down quite easily, constantly in these team fights. So skill ratio is doing an excellent job showing why they're one of the best teams in this tournament. I definitely think they have the momentum. They've had the momentum throughout this entire fight. And Zale actually, what the hell just happened?
Zale got the pass up, it looks like, but it does go down. So that is going to be a third cap. That was a desperate attempt of the pass up into the Graveyard Turtle. I like the attempt, I guess. I think that they could have played a little bit safer, but they were probably like, hey, we have 5 minutes left for 2 caps. It's either going to be maybe we get this pass up and rush their FC down him and turn this into another cap after that, or we just lose 3-0. So in those moments, you have to play a little bit risky, and I think that's what they did there. Unfortunately, they do not get paid for it. Skill ratio takes the game, and they are up 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, I mean, they played that game very well, much better than they were playing yesterday, if you ask me. Again, some overextension mistakes by Knickknack at times during that game. If you look at the scoreboard, pretty standard damage setup. I mean, this is pretty much going to be the case for all of these games. Warrior Boomkins on both teams doing an excellent job, followed by that Brewmaster Monk. So not much you can say really there. Actually, the Priest, Slick My Love, did a ton of damage that game as well. So I think that's Ayot Stock, and I played with him before on Priest, and he does a lot of damage. So excellent job overall by Skill Ratio, playing much cleaner than they have been in the past during this tournament.
Yeah, I really think that Skill Ratio in the games prior to this one, they did have a lot more mistakes than they did in this game. They probably have figured out those mistakes and grew as a team. They're very good at turning things around. I know in the last, was it 2 Twin Cups, they actually fought their way through the losers bracket and won the tournament, right?
Yeah.
So Pete even said in his interview, they play better when they kind of get like put in place. Like they lost to a Pug last year, they lost to a starter before this Twin Cup. So they like kind of getting defeated, so they know like, okay, hey, we need to actually try. We need to really try to succeed and cap these flags. Don't take anyone for granted. And finally, I think they are pulling themselves together, and they are playing much better in these last couple of games.
Yeah, I think losing early on in the tournament, or losing at some point, being down in a tournament, is really a big ego check. If you have the mindset that you're automatically going to win, you're the best ever. That's going to harm you, because you're not going to be. You might not play 100%, and once you're down, once you've taken a loss, it really motivates you to not lose any more series. And Skill Ratio can't lose any more series, especially going into these the bracket play later today. They're going to really need to play consistently and play with that sort of mindset that we can't get eliminated. Like that's unacceptable to us. And so I think really that's what they're thinking right now. But yeah, really good job by them cleaning up that game a bit. GSC A team not looking like the not living up to their name, if you ask me. A bit of a sloppy performance by them, but it did seem like they're just getting thrown around by Skill Ratio, just absolutely embarrassed by them. Hopefully Skill Ratio can continue this momentum in the second game, and hopefully GSC can make this a bit closer. One of the things I think I'd be looking for is perhaps these Priests on GSC start playing a bit more safe. Living Force only playing with 2.4k HP. That's a bit risky, especially if you don't have that Goblin Jump available. You're pretty much a free target.
Yeah, so what do you think? Do you think GSC A team can pull it together here and take this next game, or do you think Skill Ratio is going to 3-0 them again?
I think it'll be a closer game, but I think GSC A team is just completely shook up right now. They really need to get it together. Interesting. Again, those hunter kills from Skill Ratio. I mean, there's got to be some reason for it. Perhaps what it is they're wanting to get rid of the pet buff. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think strategically that'd be really important for those hunter kills kind of early on into the team fight. That 10% HP buff and that 10% spell power buff. I believe that's what the snake provides, right? It's the 10% spell power.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay, yeah. So removing those buffs is pretty big. Especially the 10% stam. I mean, that's for most twinks, that's like 300 to 400 HP. And so that's a lot to deal with. And Grizzlyfoot actually running up to me in Orgrimmar with a staff equipped. And he does have that snake out, and it is 10% spell power. So those buffs are really important to remove because it's free stats that they have, and so.
So we are getting queued up and going into this next game here. I don't expect to see any comp changes. To be honest, I feel like both teams are comfortable with this comp. It does look like we are going to have to lead, though.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. We've said this before on the stream, but one of the problems with this queuing add-on is it doesn't always queue you on the right side of the field, and so we have to switch up the sides because that's just a bit fair. Because certain sides of the map have their own little advantages depending on who you ask, and so we're just trying to keep it fair by switching the sides.
I think the Alliance map has that huge advantage of people being able to get stuck into that pole, not being able to move. Unless if they land the clutch 3-man war stomp as they run by, I don't know.
Well, actually, I think there's a box in the Horde tunnel that you can get caught behind as well. I know that was like an RBG strat, is to like try to knock people into this box so they couldn't move. A bit scummy. And I guess we have to leave one more time, as Skill Ratio does have the Hordes out again, and we need to make sure that they have Alliance for this next game.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people on Skill Ratio, they're really used to playing on that Horde side. I know some of their members play on both sides, Alliance and Horde and Pugs and stuff, but for the most part, they play Horde, and I don't know if they see that Horde side as an advantage to them, or if they like Alliance side more. I'd be really curious to see into their brain there and find out if they actually have strategy, depending on what map side they're on.
Yeah, I mean, playing with the Horde racials are so good. I guess we have to leave one more time. Hopefully this doesn't keep happening. Actually, in the first Swing Cup, I played Alliance with what was her name? This Sunday night, we went to the finals against Skill Ratio. I don't know why we went Alliance. I think that's just where we had our gold at the time. But Alliance is definitely a very weak faction in this bracket, simply because there isn't many crowd control abilities. So having that War Stomp, having that 2-second blanket silence is so important for securing kills. The best Alliance ratio, though, Worgen is pretty good for hunters, rogues, druids. It's a pretty good ratio, if you ask me. So it's interesting that we don't really see many Alliance teams, but I guess that's kind of expected since Horde ratios seem to be much better in this environment.
Yeah, I've heard some hunters and some FCs both say they actually prefer Worgen. A lot of times, I mean, the FC before 6 stacks, that Worgen racial, I mean, that can get you across mid so fast because it does stack with the deer form. I've always played Night Elf Hunter on Alliance. I don't know. I love being able to be shadow meld like polymorphs or fears or star surges. Like I've always loved that mechanic.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to leave again. Sorry guys, we're just playing the lottery right now. We just lost 5 times in a row.
Yeah, do not go to Vegas right now. Bad time.
Not good. I don't know. I like playing Worgen a lot. I have a feral druid that I sometimes queue, and I like having that sprint.
I wouldn't say that out loud that you play feral. People might look down on you. I'm just kidding.
Yes,
ferals are looked down on. But
yeah, and for good reasons. I mean, there's a reason why they're banned in this tournament. Actually, it'd be kind of cool to see a feral in the Twin Cup. I would kind of like that, but there would have to be like some rules. Like the feral can't open on the FC, like at all, or something. Like the feral would have to never touch the FC.
Or if you play feral, you can't play hunters or something like that.
Yeah, there'd have to be some trade-off. Looks like we have to queue again. So yeah, it's a very low percentage that would happen 6 times in a row, but whatever.
Yeah, and yeah, the odds are not going against us right now. As we all know, if you flip a coin 100 times and it lands heads every time, unfortunately, if you flip it again, it's still a 50-50 chance. And that's just some simple math there for you guys. If you take anything away from this tournament, it's that flipping a coin is a 50% chance.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Again.
And
oh. Not happening.
Not happening, guys. I have a good feeling about this next one.
I don't know, man.
You're not too sure. You're not confident in this next time.
No. Yeah, I think skill ratio definitely played much better today, at least in that last game, than they had been yesterday. So I think they have, sort of shaken off maybe some of the early tournament jitters, really kind of gain some confidence. And look, dude, let's leave again. So yeah, I think skill ratio is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm biased or something, but I really like skill ratio, and I want to see them do well in this tournament. So that's who I'm going to be rooting for. Not trying to be biased, but skill ratio is the best guild of all time. Dark Chewy,
we both have that skill ratio bias since we're both from the guild. But yeah. I mean, bias aside, like looking at it mathematically, I still think skill ratio is the better team. As we saw in that last game, they played better than GSC A team. I think they're used to playing with each other more. I'm not saying like individually that their skill is less or more. I just think that skill ratio kind of fits together as a puzzle a little bit better.
Yeah, the one thing that's like certain about skill ratio, I think they're the most disciplined team in this tournament. That's one of the feelings I got playing with them last year, is they're just really well organized, and that goes far in an environment like this. Some of the teams, not going to name any names, but some of the teams I think are a bit more independent. They kind of play for themselves instead of playing for the team, and that can kind of cost you in this environment. So skill ratio definitely has that sort of that swag of just being just really by the book, playing just extremely confidently. Of course, Pizza's a really good leader. Can't undermine that. But one of the things Muskie was saying in his interviews, kind of mentioned that Pizza is somewhat like a dictator in the guild, but I don't think that's the case. Pizza kind of distributes the leadership role kind of equally among some of the people in his guild. So it's just a really well organized machine, skill ratio.
I mean, from my experience, like even if Pizza is the leader, and like let's say he was calling every single thing, he would be really limited because he doesn't have like track humanoids. Like the hunters might have to call the strategic play, like, "Hey, we need to run now," because they see all these people coming up tunnel, and if Grizzle were to pass that information on to Pizza, and then Pizza would have to make the decision, it's just one extra step that would having to be taken, and possibly that could lead to them not leaving soon enough and them dying off of that. So I don't know how they actually run it in their call, but if like Grizzle says leave, I would leave because I trust him as a hunter, and I know he has track humanoids on, and I think that's something that maybe skill ratio does.
Yeah, and one of the things is there's actually a lot of synergy between Pizza and Dark Chewy. They've been playing together for years, and that they're like their communication I think is like the most important. And it does appear like we queued into the right side this time, so we will have a game for you guys. We messed up the queue, or the queue got messed up 9 times in a row, I believe. I wasn't counting, but it felt like somewhere around that number. So thanks for staying with us, and this should be played out perfect. I don't think we have any issues. I think both teams have entered. I don't think anyone's missing right now, but this is, finally we got a game. Skill ratio now playing on the Alliance side, GSC playing on that Horde side. So both teams are now in their respective corners, wearing different colored pants. And let me look at what's his name, Skier. Slick might love wearing a glass cannon set 2 right now, rocking not that much HP, but Living Force opting to play with a bit more HP. Maybe he heard me on the stream, but yeah, now he has 2.8k HP, so he's going to be definitely a bit more difficult to kill.
If you look at Ashler, the hunter GSC, he's running 2.4k health, and that's with the bear pet, right? So that is an extremely high agility set there, and maybe that's why they are opting to kill him so often, because a hunter running that little health just dies. Like he can't take any damage there.
Yeah, that's pretty risky. One of the things I mean, I guess it's good. Running glass cannon kind of makes sense for very certain, like very specific times. throughout the fight. Not in the mid fight though. I don't think running glass cannon is going to help you in the mid fight, but perhaps it'll help you when you're trying to secure a kill in the FC when he's hiding away from you and not engaging you. I mean, I'm sure you know this as a hunter. Like, there's certain sets that might benefit you more. Even FCs do this, where they would have different sets for different situations. And I don't know, Asher just opting to run this very aggressive set, despite that not being entirely optimal for this mid fight.
Yeah, I personally have 3 sets of my hunter. I have glass cannon, midway, and then like FC set. So I think a lot of these hunters do have those sets, but I mean, running a glass cannon in mid isn't a terrible idea. Obviously, you do more damage. It's just whether like pressure that you'll be taking is worth the damage, the more damage you'll be outputting. It's hard to balance those things sometimes, but it goes to style too. So if these hunters want to run the glass cannon, they're comfortable with it, like more power to them.
Yeah. And again, in this opening team fight, what we can expect, it seems like Skill Ratio has repeated a pattern of trying to just hit these hunters with those low stamina sets. And it does look like we are seeing just this typical opener, both melees on both teams, trying to get some Ren pressure. Knickknack getting Crusader Strike, or Crusader proc, so we will see him put out a little bit more damage as he spreads some Rens onto Ashler. It doesn't look like anyone on either team is taking too much damage. As I say that, Snack actually goes down, getting targeted by Skill Ratio, getting taken out really quickly. His Insignia got taken, so really good job capitalizing on that. Knickknack under a bit of pressure. I think he should be fine. It does look like he's getting topped off quite a bit. Asher actually under some pressure right now, getting swapped to right in the face of Skill Ratio. And Skill Ratio just getting one kill after another as Daniela does go down. So now they have a BM and a Priest down. It does look like Unplayable is now being targeted. And same with Yandingo. Those 2 people on GSC taking a ton of damage. China now getting swapped to, getting charged and executed. Really good job by Skill Ratio recognizing that these healers just have terrible positioning and, capitalizing on their mistakes.
Yeah, and they did a great job. I mean, being able to kill a BM that fast in the mid fight is huge because the BM is one of the most important people in mid. He is able to throw out those AoE slows to stop people from pushing into your team. He has a lot of damage. So good job by Skill Ratio landing a kill in like the most important part of the midfield. And because of that, the enemy flag carry or the flag carrier that's on GSC A team is not able to put cross. So they might play it safe here. I know Skill Ratio is known for that, and they did that last game. So maybe wait for 6 stacks and turn around and get a kill in this EFC here. Yeah,
I mean, maybe they could budget one hunter to go back and put some pressure, but the FC is just going to kite, and I'm sure you've known that too. Like, it's very difficult to kind of deal with a kiting FC for any class. So yeah, I think they're just going to play it safe probably and just stick in this team fight and try to continue this pressure onto this GSC team that got quickly wiped in the opening team fight.
Yeah, they could maybe kill Marb or the GSC FC if they sent both hunters and the FC back. I mean, there's no way that an FC should be able to live against 3 people and be able to kite all of them. They would have to send 2 to actually go for the kill, and 1 person would sit top of tunnel to cut. They could do it that way, but playing it patient is safe. If it hits 6 stacks, it's like 100% kill. So they just want to make sure that they don't die in mid and contain until that 6 stack hits.
And Knickknack right now is so deep into this enemy team. Grizzle running and getting the war stop onto China. Really good job by Grizzlefoot. Now Grizzle taking a bit of pressure as he's going to get topped off. Knickknack, once again, it's just so far deep. Same with the BM Monk. So, just doing so much pressure to this this backline of GSC as they get a charge onto these healers, putting out some pressure. He does get charged up by Eclipsis. Knickknack is probably going to pull back. He's going to take a little bit of damage. Never mind. He just turns around, again, just spreading these Rens on the backline of GSC, doing massive AoE damage. He hits that Crusader proc, so now we can expect to see those big Rens. And now he's swapping onto China, who is pushed up a bit. Never mind. He's swapping onto Unplayable. Knickknack forced to trinket and get out of there as he is taking a ton of damage right now. Swapping back into defensive stance, getting that Roar of Sacrifice.
Yeah, and if you look at the health bars of both teams, Skill Ratio is not taking much damage. Meanwhile, GSC A team is just rotting to death. That Hunter just going down. Everyone is in so much trouble constantly. It's so hard for them to get back into this fight sitting on their heel the whole time. I mean, they need to find a way to turn this pressure around and put out some rot damage or something.
And Knickknack taking a bit of pressure, same with the Wuxiang. We can kind of expect to see that every now and then. Both those people do tend to take a lot of damage since they are so deep in this team. Knickknack is looking to get some Ren spread onto the healers. He is taking a ton of damage. He needs to get out of there. Maybe a Tire Celeste is needed right now as he does get rooted by that Boomkin. opting to pull back a bit, trying to spread some pressure on the front line. Repulse taking a bit of damage. He needs to get topped off right here. They can't let a healer die in this team fight. Knickknack getting another Crusader proc, and looks like both teams aren't doing. Both teams are just starting pressure on one another right now. But no kills getting scored. And right now you have to be concerned about the mana of both teams. China is almost at 0% mana. Unplayable is dipping a bit low in mana. Skill Ratio, on the other hand, has pretty good mana bars on pretty much all their healers except for Maniac. So right now, mana is definitely going to be a concern if if these kills don't start happening relatively soon.
Yeah, and they did land a kill on that Hunter, but once someone on GSC A team, if a priority target goes down, either a frontline or a healer, they'll be able to wipe the mid and easily be able to turn around on the FC that has 6 stacks right now. So that's probably what they're looking to do, because I don't see anyone contesting the flag carrier of GSC A team yet. They're playing it safe. Once they down someone, I would put all my money in that they're going to turn around and go for that EFC kill.
Yeah, Knickknack under a bit of pressure. He is forced to go sword and board right there. Asher, again, is just getting killed over and over and over. Like, I don't think he's been, alive this entire game, taking so much pressure. Knickknack choosing to charge in, getting some Rens on the back line of GSC. Knickknack has to be worried, has to be a bit careful, though, because he's been in this position before, getting rooted by this Boomkin. Really good job by Eclipses recognizing Knickknack was overextending. Does decide to trinket that and try to get out of there, but Knickknack needs a bit more careful. Playing like this, he needs to have some sort of backup. He does use his Blood of Silence to silence the entire healing squad of GSC, so really good job right there using that ratio. Snack taking a lot of damage right now. Swapping onto Eclipses, does blink out of there. Snack does go down, and Skill Ratio is getting kills over and over and over. At the same time, Knickknack's under a bit of pressure, but I think he should be fine.
Yeah, and as I say, like I said before, the frontliner goes down, the healer goes down. As you see now, the objective team of Skill Ratio is turning around on this FC that I believe has 10 stacks.
Yeah.
If I were him, I would drop this flag and just go for next cap, because there is no way that he makes it out of this alive.
And Grizzle has that Berserker buff going up the ramp. If we pay attention there, Preohaga drops the flag. He is going to go back up tunnel. I'm guessing Grizzle isn't going to return this quite yet. I think he should just go back to base right now and just sit there. Preohaga does snipe that speed buff, so really good job. What happened to Dark Chewy? Is Dark Chewy going to cap right now? He's opting not to. That's interesting. I guess, yeah, maybe he's running back to cap. I can't really tell. But I think right now would be a really good time to do that. Grizzle can definitely 1v1 this Druid if he decides to pick it up. I'm not sure why they're delaying this cap right now. A bit of an interesting decision, if you ask me. But maybe they're just trying to, again, play it really safe. But I don't know if this is the safe play.
Yeah, I mean, so the SR flag is still out in midfield. Only Grizzle is defending. Marb can beat Grizzle in a 1v1. Rest of Druids should not lose to that Hunter. So if he were to get that kill on Grizzle, it would actually give his team some pressure, because as you can see, Daniela going down, GSC A team is just locked in that graveyard, and I'm not sure what they're doing here. I really don't like the way that Skill Ratio is playing this. I would go for a cap. It seems free.
Yeah, this does seem definitely like a free cap. Grizzle is changing out his pets. I think he's probably getting a stamp pet out or something. He's got a Bird of Prey, so they have that Mortal Strike pet out. So they are looking to probably secure a kill on this FC if he does decide to pick it up. Right now, I think what GSC needs to do is somehow send a Hunter around to try to prevent this play from happening. But again, I think this is going to be a free cap for Skill Ratio if they play this really carefully. If they can get this flag into the base, once they're in there, I mean, Marb isn't going to be able to do anything, I don't think. And he's certainly just going to go down. Marb is stealthing around. I don't know if he's going to try to maybe 1v1 Grizzle. But he is a bit too far behind. I don't think he's going to go for I don't think Marb's going to go for the pick. He's going to give this cap, I think, to Skill Ratio, and then maybe he's going to try to convert something off of that. But for the meantime, yeah, Grizzle and Dark Jade is playing this really safe, really cautiously, getting that cap, and Marb is just probably going to just wait for his team to stabilize if they can do that before he takes his flag out of the base again.
Yeah, so Marb basically had two choices there. Either one, try to 1v2 the Hunter flag carrier and the Resto Druid healer, which might have been able to be done. I mean, he was at 15 stacks. Resto Druid's healing isn't that great. he does choose to stay more safe and just go for the next pick, which I think is the better choice there because his team has pushed out a graveyard now. So maybe they can switch this into a fast cap if they can actually land a kill on skill ratio mid.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that Jury can get into that base. He did use his Displacer beast. He does have that available though right now. So Dark 2 shouldn't have any issues getting out of this base. And right now, China's under a bunch of pressure. Same with Daniela. Daniela does go down on GSC. Skill ratio just getting those easy frat boy kills. And China's now taking a lot of pressure, dipping a bit low, sub almost into execute range. But Prail Haraga, the FC for GSC, is taking a ton of damage from, I don't know.
The Ren tick took him down.
Wow, really good job by Knickknack. The flag is going to get picked up by Eclipses, but he is taking a ton of damage. He's probably going to go down.
Can he pass it up?
Actually, his FC is down below, so they're both down below. Eclipses is playing Wild Charge, so he could potentially drop it down or Wild Charge up. But yeah, skill ratio. I think they could get a kill right here on the FC. GSC is down so many people. Prayer Haraga running up a log for some reason, I don't know, and just right now he's in that corner, that famous that disastrous corner. That's like if you're there, you know you're under a lot of pressure. And right now it does look like he is taking a bit of damage. It looks like he is getting focused by the front line of skill ratio. Dark Chewy is comfortably behind his team right now. Prayer just getting targeted, just getting cleaved right now. Skill ratio killing Snack. They're about to get a kill on unplayable, so now 2 healers are dead. I think this is the time that they just need to maybe if they can pressure the FC enough to score a kill. Maybe if they can kill one more healer, definitely. But right now it doesn't look good for GSC as they're constantly just dying. And maybe Pearl Haraga is trying to get a pass up. He does get that pass to Gobnobber. So right now he needs to try to get around and maybe get into that graveyard. Pearl Haraga going around right now, getting cut off by Grizzle. Really good awareness by Grizzle. Noticing the FC is trying to do something. Pearl Haraga is running into Dark Chewy. This is look at this madman. I don't know why he did. He's just going to go down. I think he just wanted to die so he can get teleported up to that graveyard. I don't really see why he did that.
He's either go for the long distance run or die and get back to graveyard. I'm not sure if they have timed it and they know which way is faster. I did definitely think he was trying to die. I don't think he was actually trying to make a huge play there or anything. And the BM of the team goes down. There's just GSC is just rotting and dying. Like they are having so much trouble dealing with this mid team of skill ratio. I don't know what they're going to do here. Do you think that they can maybe switch things up, just play objectively or something? I don't see them winning mid here.
I'm not sure. Pizza just ran in and got a really clutch war stomp onto a few healers of GSC, forcing the trinket out of China. So right now they don't have trinkets available, and ratios I think are up for Grizzle as Grizzle, Wexiang, and Knickknack are running in there. And I think we're going to start to see, again this pressure mount onto GSC as their warrior is dead. Skill ratio has been doing an excellent job, but they just need to manage this relief hut really well. It does look like they have been doing that. Repulse is dipping a bit low in mana, but I think he should be fine. Knickknack is being charged, and it does look like Skill ratio is just doing a good job containing this team in graveyard. Indigo actually pushing in deep into the team of skill ratio. He's getting swapped to. Does have that Roar of Sacrifice available. I think he should be fine. But he did spread a lot of Rens. Choosing to charge in once again, he has no charges available. Indigo certainly will probably get punished for this. I don't see why they wouldn't. He gets that Crusader Strike, Crusader proc, and spreading those massive Rens. So I don't know. Normally they would punish this, and it looks like they are going to do that. They do take Indigo down. At the same time, Knickknack's under a ton of pressure. I'm sure he was doing a very similar thing, swapping the sword and board. So really good job by Knickknack, getting picked up there by his team.
And Grizzle was able to solo push the FC off of top of Graveyard all the way down. Not only into the Graveyard itself, but all the way down to the bottom level. And with the Warrior and the Priest dead from GSC, Skill Racer is going to look for a push to kill this FC.
Yeah, they might get a pass up. I think that's what Prayer Haraga is looking to do right now. But if he doesn't get that pass, Knickknack actually finally died. That's a first death on skill ratio. So this is actually gives GSC a little bit of breathing room. Kind of Knickknack's been overextending quite a bit throughout these games. That I didn't see exactly why he died, but I'm guessing it had something to do with that. Prehuaga or the GSC right now is pushing into skill ratio. Maybe they can get something rolling off of this. I think Dark Chewy right now. I really think just Dark Chewy should just go to cap and then they should converge on this FC. I mean, your team's probably going to wipe in the process, but I think it's well worth the risk. Dark Chewy is just sitting on top of Graveyard right now. It looks like skill ratio is almost entirely regrouped as Knickknack comes back in the team fight. Maniac under some pressure right now from the front line of GSC. It looks like he is dipping a bit low. I think he should be fine though, as he will get out of there. But right now, I think maybe I don't know, man. I think just one of the hunters from skill ratio should just try to get a scope proc and if they can just push into Prehuaga. Prehuaga playing really far behind his healers. Of course, he is going to be getting zoned by his hunters. Those hunters are going to be playing goalie for him. But right now, he's just a sitting duck, and I think really skill ratio, their hunters should really capitalize on this.
Yeah, and you see skill ratios hunters do that all the time. They're actually not like directly in the midfield. They're kind of poking from the sides. Grizzly here taking a lot of damage. He will get topped back up. But as I was saying, like you see those hunters not like really fighting directly into the mid-fight. They're kind of like running around huts, like throwing a couple shots into the healers or throwing a couple shots into the FC. They're almost more of a distraction and an annoyance rather than actual direct damage. So maybe they will try to do this with FC being so far back.
Yeah, and one of the things they could do, because skill ratio has been getting these hunter kills over and over and over, a hunter kill would be a really good opportunity to do that, to push in. Dark Chewy taking a lot of damage from the Asher right now on top of GY. Asher definitely will probably go down here as he's so far away from his healers. I don't think he's going to get picked up in time. Yeah, he does go down. He did get that blow of silence off, but right now, I don't know, man. Dark Chewy should probably just go to cap. If I were him, I mean, I don't really know how to see at all, but I would just go to cap, man, and just send one of these hunters or the Boomkin, someone right now into Prehuaga, as he is going to be sitting alone in his base with 12 stacks. I mean, and the thing too is skill ratio really needs to get this cap. This is a really important cap right now, really important moment in this game, because if they don't get this, and GSC does get this second cap, or this first cap for them, skill ratio is probably not going to win this game. But I really think they need to just pressure this FC. They're playing it really close, which is something they've done in the past. But right now, they need to start pushing in. And Ezron is going up that ramp right now with his team. So right now, skill ratio definitely is seeing definitely has blood in their eyes. And Dark Chewy is probably just going to be sitting on cap, as he does displacer beast up that tunnel, getting prepared for this kill in the FC. Prehuaga dropping down into his graveyard. It's so slow right now. 14 stacks. 100%, 140% increased damage, moving just at 0 speed. So skill ratio just needs to connect, get this angle onto this FC, and they can secure this win.
And I do have to point out real quick, GSC's Hunter Asher is going for Dark Chewy. It's going to be like a race against time. Maniac is trying to go back to support him, and Asher actually doesn't go up tunnel. I'm not sure if he could have been to the FC, but skill ratio has good defense here. They shouldn't die, so they're going to get a kill over here on Marv, maybe. They just need to get a good angle on him.
Yeah, this Ezron is putting some pressure right now, maybe onto this FC. Never mind. I thought Ezron had a good angle to start charging in. But this is going to be cutting it really close. Asher right now is putting some pressure. Maniac just needs to make sure that Doc can keep rolling. He is attacking Dark Chewy. If he gets a scope proc, this could be really bad. Fortunately, Dark Chewy has that fence in front of him. This is where that alliance fence is kind of going to come in handy, perhaps. Dark Chewy, I think, shouldn't really engage this fight. He did put that Moonfire dot out. I like that, but he shouldn't really get into melee range. I don't see any reason for that. Right now, he's just going to get kited, and Maniac needs to keep that dot up on him. Dark Chewy and Maniac are going to 2v1 this hunter, and unless Asher gets a scope proc and like some miracle damage happens, he does get the scope proc. There's so much damage on the Dark Chewy right now. Maniac needs to just spam those heals. It looks like he's doing that. But once they live the scope proc, it'll be so much easier for them. Asher actually is going to take falling damage and dive. Oh, never mind. He gets that disengage off. Really good job by him. But yeah, he has 3 dots on him. I think Dark Chewy should be fine. Prehuaga on the other side of the field does go down. Sorry for not paying attention to that, but this is going to be a second cap for skill ratio, and they are going to win this game. 2 caps to 0.
Yeah, that was a good attempt by GSC. They knew that they needed to get that cap if they wanted to win the game there. I don't know. I think that Hunter could have played it a little bit better. He went back to kind of like 1v1 Maniac almost, rather than just going up tunnel. If he went up tunnel, I don't think he would have beat the rest of Shaman to the EFC, but he would have taken less damage from Flame Shocks running to the flag carry, and maybe with that little bit extra health, he might have been able to land a kill or when he did elect to go ramp and kind of like contest that shaman, I would have spam focus conked the shaman while running towards the FC and maybe get a couple of extra seconds of damage without heals. I would have played that a little bit differently if I was that, but regardless, it was a good attempt. And this game was closer than the last game. They played a little bit better here. Unfortunately, that is 2 losses, so skill ratio will take it.
And ladies and gentlemen, once you see the scoreboard, like prepare to be mesmerized by the amount of killing blows from skill ratio. Only having 1 death that entire game, Knickknack dying once. So skill ratio just absolutely dominating this team with 52 honorable kills this game, getting that bloodthirsty achievement. Thank you, GSC, helping with that achievement. Knickknack getting 21 KBs, doing 386k damage. Sergeant Pizza also putting out a lot of damage. But at the same time, on GSC side, Dingo and Eclipsis did